Welcome, welcome, ladies and gentlemen. Crisis 169 come to you live with another video, live broadcast watching. Thank you. Watching it later on, later today, later in the month, later in the year, later 20 years from now, whatever. Congratulations, thank you for watching the video. Sit down right now. This topic now is going to be about the CPU of PC gaming. CPU can be kind of overlooked a little bit here. CPU can be kind of overlooked a little bit, in the realm of not knowing which one to get. I typed in Ryzen, the I typed in AMD, but Intel's good too as well. But my rig has a Ryzen 5600 and it has an AMD, not Ryzen, has an AMD Ryzen 5 5600X at 4.37 out of the box. The clock boost can go up to 4.3, 4.5. Now, I haven't overclocked it yet, and I probably could overclock it eventually. Try to go up maybe to 3.9, maybe 4 if I really want to stretch its legs. But out of the box, the 3.7 or 3.70 is a good one. Now, I'm looking at different ones right now, though. The 5600 has a core clock, but has a running clock around 3.4, 3.2. No difference. But the overclock is about 4.2, 4.3, almost on par with the 5600X. And that one just released. 5600 just released, I think, this year, or releasing this year. The Ryzen 5 5600X released about a year or two ago or so. 12th gen, the one I have, the newer gen that came out. About 2020, so about 2 years ago at least. When I'm making this live stream video, watching later on, it's about a year or two after. Okay, so that being said, though, what is CPU and what was it for? Well, CPU is the heart and brain of your operation. It's the think tank, if you will, that communicates with your RAM, that communicates with the graphics card, the motherboard, and the whole shebang. Without it, your PC, I wouldn't even think light up. It may light up, but it wouldn't work that much. Most games like Fortnite, CSGO, Battle Royale games can run pretty much on CPU alone. Age of Empires, games like that will run more generally on CPU. Because it's what they're just constantly changing battles, graphics, stuff's changing, and Minecraft, CPU bound game, tremendously. If you unplug your graphics card, if you plug in something into your CPU port, it would run just like you had a graphics card in there, because it runs off CPU, because it requires that. Mine has a 6-core, 12-thread. 6 cores, 12 threads. 6 core, each core is different things, as well as the non-X 600. The difference is the X has a little more oomph to it when it comes to gameplay and utilizing speed. With my RAM, I have 32 gigabytes of 16 times 2 RAM at 3600 hertz. I can get it out here. There we are. I can get it out here by a minute somewhere. I've had two 16 gigabyte RAM here. I'll show you here. RAM here. Show you the RAM. If I can get it out of the box here. If I can get it out of the box, just should have got this out already. I don't want to damage the stuff because I might use it later on to build. There you go. This here is the Dark Z. What I have in there now is Corsair RGB. These are the RAM sticks I had in there before. Here, RAM sticks. The metal, obviously. Good looking little things too. Might have to myself. Good looking little things. It's a little different than what I had before previously in there, but they're different. These not the same as the other ones. Same number, but yeah, 3600 hertz. DDR4. These are both 8 gigs of dual channel. So these are 16. And my brother-in-law, who built my PC, said all I needed was 16, but I wanted 32 for Christmas. I got 32 for Christmas, right? So He calls it overkill. I call it, hey, it's something I wanted to do for myself, right? Something I want to get done. I wanted something to be done with, so I can hey, I got something it's actually looking pretty cool and pretty rad. You know what I mean? So that right there is something that you need to look into too as well. The RAM. You need good RAM anyway. I recommend the Dark Z, ZA, the good RAM sticks. But if you can afford the Corsair, I will get the Corsair. This is Corsair Vengeance Pro, made for Ryzen AMDs. 3600, 2 gigabytes, 216 each gigabytes, 32. So my girl-in-law says it's overkill, but I think it's fine. That for Christmas. Now it's like $100 something for those here. These are probably about $70, maybe $80 back, maybe 100, maybe getting back in time. You're getting it done. You get the PC built and all about a year ago. Now I've had this rig for at least about a year, a little more than a year now, almost a year here soon in June. My biggest complaint is that graphics card wise, I can't get a good graphics card right now. 2060 is still rocking. I still play games on medium high settings, but the CPU itself is where the money is at. This CPU costs $100 cheaper than going out and going buying a 5700X. It's just released or being released. If you can save 30 or 40 bucks, you can get 5600 non-X. But, the very big but, if you can afford the $40 more, pick up the 5600X. It's a great CPU. Yes, great CPU. Sorry, kind of weird. No, but it's a great CPU. It has all you need. The 5600 will do the same things, 6 core, 12 threads. Same that damn thing. The only difference is the 5600X has a little more oomph behind it, where the 5600 does not. Now, when Gaming Nexus talked about this, the frame per rate maybe half a frame difference. But is that really going to make a difference? Probably not. Probably not as much as you would think. But, once again, a big but. If you really needed to upgrade your system, if you had the urge to go buy something, the i5 12600K is actually a decent one that outperforms the 56X and 700X. But it costs more than both of those. Roughly about the same price as the 5700X. But is $100 more expensive than 5600X. Non-X probably almost $200 cheaper if you take off 30 or 40 bucks off that, depending where you buy it from. Mostly you buy from Best Buy, Amazon, Newegg. Buy it Amazon, you might get lucky. Newegg, you might get gypped. Amazon, Best Buy, if you can find it, go for it. But right now, I would say what I've seen for dollar, the 5600X I have in my rig right now runs like a dream. Now, I haven't really stretched its legs yet. I haven't overclocked it because I don't have a graphics card really worth overclocking right now. My 2060 is about 10% overclock. I can try to do a little bit more. But that's pushing the VRAM at 6 gigabytes. So my system runs decently. My games run good. My system is pretty much, as cool as you're going to get in here. 3 fans pumping in cool air going on the ground. The only time it heats up when I'm playing games like Red Dead 2, Shadow Tomb Raider, Battlefield 2042. If I play Battlefield at all. But I would look at 5600 non-X. But And it's a very, once again, big but. If you wanted to save some coin, but if you want to save 30 or 40 bucks to buy a better graphics card, I would say that. But if you already have but if you're putting in a new CPU in your gaming rig right now, this is to save a 1080 Ti in there, or 2060 right now anyway, super or non-super, upgrading your CPU would probably be a better idea. CPU's cost coming down a lot more. You can buy a 600, 600X, put it in there, and give your, if your motherboard, of course, if your motherboard doesn't support the X, but supports 5600, by all means, don't burn your house down. Also, some bad guy in a white shirt saying 600X. No, I'm saying if your motherboard supports it. Not every motherboard is unique. Now, they don't have one size fits all motherboards. Everyone different. Mine doesn't have Wi-Fi built in. I had to go buy a 3.0 a gigabyte. I did a review in the bottom here or somewhere of that Netgear. Down below, go watch that one and get an idea about if you don't have a Wi-Fi built-in motherboard. Now, I almost gone for it. The one port was like maybe extra $60. Two ports were a little more. If they had single channel ones that were okay, but I told my brother-in-law I would just go ahead and buy a 3.0 or buy a USB port, plug it in. That's what I did. That being said, though, is it a bad thing? No. Once again, if you're doing a lot of gaming, 5600, 5600X is good. The 5700, the Ryzen 7, because 5700 is Ryzen 7 now. If you're doing a lot of video editing, multitasking, 5-6 screens, and you're doing a lot of video gaming, chatting, using a lot of things, using like a lot of stuff, and you're a YouTuber, much bigger than I am, obviously, and you have all going on using Twitch plus, this and that and the other, and you're doing stuff and you're downloading and you're uploading stuff, then by all means go for the 5600X, 5700X, sorry. 5700X Ryzen 7 would be a better choice. If you're just doing gaming and some streaming like I do, and just video stuff on YouTube and playing games on good settings with a decent graphics card, then 5600X is for you. The X is a little more preferred if you're doing a little more high tense gaming. My graphics card is 2060. I'm overclocking enough so I know the CPU is running a little more, but I don't have a 3060, 3060 Ti, 3070, or 2070 Super, 2080 Super Ti to really stretch its legs. So I have to go by what I have. Okay, I have to go by what I have, and then that's what I have. Okay. So that being said, though, many factors. One, price. Is 5700X feasible? If you're only doing gaming and you're building your rig first time, no, not feasible. 5600X or hell, even an i5, i3 1200, I think 600K will be preferred. But if you want longevity, you want something that's going to last longer, 5600X, 5600 came out after the X came out, already been launched. That should have been released before. AMD's mathematical logic is not there. But whatever. Both are hard to try. Okay? They're a better graphic, they're a better CPU than I think people give them credit for. People are still using i3s, 12600s, Ks to play games on it, and they're rocking it with a 3060 or a 90 or 6900. Probably more of an Intel, probably more of a 3080 probably on a lot of those. 3060 might be the bottom. The benchmark 390, I think would be the bottleneck in that of that CPU. I would think, because after a while you start getting those games that are massively like sandboxing, like you get the Minecraft game like that. You start showing the age of the i3 1200, 600, 4K. I think you can start seeing the age of it showing because of the massiveness of the game and how much it takes a lot more CPU power in games like that. They're playing games like Shadow Tomb Raider and Horizon Zero Dawn and Horizon 4 or 5. You don't have a problem with it because it's all based upon GPU. The CPU is only there to just get information, and your RAM also. So, but we're going CPU bound only right now. I'll talk about GPUs probably next week. Better at GPUs. But CPU wise, if you're going to go into heavy gaming and editing, then obviously, forego 5600X. You could start there. My brother said I could do a lot of streaming, but I can't do real intense streaming and gaming because the CPU GPU are not made for that. If I get a good GPU with a CPU rocking it like I have right now, it can do pretty well. But it's mostly made for gaming. Mine is a gaming mid-range gaming powerhouse with a light streaming ability. That's where the 6-core 12 threads come in. That's where the 12 threads come in. But you're not going to use me no more than 4 or 5 thread cores anyway. Because games nowadays don't require a lot of that stuff right now. And the games later on, if Battlefield 2042 actually worked, it could have utilized a lot more. Because, my GPU was screaming when I was using it. That being said, though, is there a not to buy? I would not buy right now a 3600 Ryzen 5. I wouldn't buy it. Unless you're really buying a down the dump basic. You're going to put that in there and put a 1660 Super in there. Then by all means, you can do that. And you can do that. But 16 Supers are not no power, not no slouches either. So you have to understand, though, right now we're past the point of no return on getting 3600 to 3200. 3200 is past its prime. 3600 is getting there. But still have 3600s with 2060s in them. Non-supers, obviously. But that doesn't mean that they're bad. They'll last a long time if you don't mind playing only certain games. You can still play tons of games on them. I'm not saying they're bad. But 3200 and 2700s, they had like Ryzen 7 2700s. Ryzen 7 2700s are kind of on their way out. Now, I'm not a PC master race guru. My brother-in-law and sister are way above that. I just dove into PC gaming about a year ago. That being said, though, overallness, for your bang for your buck, 5600X to me is pinnacle to go right now. For just gaming itself, 5600X is the pinnacle, is the top of the line right now for gaming. For gaming only. If you're doing multimedia streaming, blah, 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 and then you can go sky's the limit. And your wallet is going to be hating you for that. But if you got the cash flow, and if you got the Benjamins and 20s, 50s to pay for it, AMD and Intel will love to make your acquaintance. And that's being truthful about that. If you got the money, they have the time. The short time they have, but they have time. So I'll stay away from anything below 3600 right now, as right now. i3s you can probably get away with. i5s are decent, are good, still good. And most i5s are still beating the 5600X. Or coming close or equivalent or go just slightly ahead of it. Just slightly ahead. But longevity for this gaming itself, 5600X is where to go. 600 came out first, but once again, it's AMD mathematics. I give him props for it. Shout out to Jay's 2 cents. Shout out to Gaming Nexus. Shout out to Rich Retech USA. These guys inspired me to go more and better. So, hope you watch this video. If they do, awesome. They don't, whatever. Um, but to recap the situation, you don't need to spend $57. You don't need to spend $300-$400 on a 5700X Ryzen 7 if you can get a 600X, not X, either way, to do the same thing with gaming. Now, if you're doing multimedia, doing multi like that stuff, yes, you want the Pinnacle. But most Pinnacles are going to be i9s. The granddaddy of all are i9s, 5900, 50s, and those are going to cost you, your wall's going to hate you. They ain't going to talk to you no more. Your bank account ain't going to talk to you no more. Bank will talk to you if you have an overdraft fee coming up. But beside the point, that's about it with that one. And in that situation, that's your own personal problem there. But really, guys, that's it. Like I said, though, covering the bases. To me, the Pinnacle for gaming itself, no lower than a Ryzen 5 3600. To me right now, but looking at it, Jay's 2 cents and gaming the Nexus and Rich Viewtech USA and me going online looking at stuff. That is, to me, the bare minimum line. You don't want to go down too low. Now, if you're building a new PC and you have, hey, I have a 3600 and it's still good, it's good. Why are you upgrading it then? That's the thing you need to ask yourself. If you got a 3600, say X, non X, they have both of them. They have an X. I think they do. So why are you upgrading? Because you want to stay current or stay close to current. And I understand that. I'm not against that. You know your PC better than I do. You know what you can shove in there on CPU-wise without burning the house down. So if you know you can only have a 5600 non-X, then hey, go for it. Rock it out. It'll last you another 5, maybe 10 years if you don't mind dropping down the resolution. There's people with i3s, base models, i3s, mid-base tiers, still rocking on medium-low settings because they can't afford it or save enough for a better, Intel. And that's fine. Nothing wrong with them, And I'm not going to sit there and tell, oh, you can't do this. No, it's up to you. I'm just giving you my thoughts and what I have. And what I've read and talked about, heard talk about at work and also other people too, that the graphics card is going to be my bottleneck because my RAM is at 32 gigabytes at 3600 megahertz. So I know, like I said, though, I had 2 6 of 8 gigabyte 3600s, but I wanted to upgrade to the RGB Corsair Vengeance. And those are rocking great because I have plenty of room. I had plenty of room with 16 gigabytes, but I was approaching 12 and a half on certain games. I started cranking up the resolution. But also, I also had a 4K monitor. No, I also had 2K monitor with 59.95 hertz. Now that makes sense. But now I have 1080p monitor at 75 hertz. I lock at 60. Games look even better. My brother-in-law was like, I don't even know the difference between 2K and 1080p because it looks magical. Have a lot more hertz, a lot more room. I probably should stay with my 16 gigabytes and RAM. It probably wouldn't have done much at all anyway. But that's me. I want to upgrade something shiny, and that was one shiny got upgraded. Next would be the GPU, obviously. If I could snag a 2080 Ti or a 3060 Ti or 2070 Super, I'll be good for a couple more years. Yes, I would want a 30 series car. Or hopefully when the 40s come out. Hopefully, fingers crossed, uncrossing. But I didn't get my car taken care of. The BCM module. It actually date's set for May 8th, May 9th. So that's update there. You guys update there. BCM module Honda Civic went bad. Had a car for 8 months. Less than 80,000 miles on it. I'm mad, but I still believe in the Lord will bless me tremendously, and He has. I still have transportation to get to work. I still have a car to get to work. Just in the car I'm driving, but whatever. I thank my family members for that. Appreciate them helping me out. I appreciate you guys for being there, even though I've been gone for a while. I didn't die or quit. I just had issues to take care of. The car and other issues came up, a little more important than a car, obviously. I had to get that taken care of. So that meant my livelihood and my life. And I'm into that. I'm not going to go into more detail. It's taken care of. Just saying, watch what you do online. Stay online. Because you're always being watched by everybody. Word of advice. That's my PSA for the month. Watch what you say online. Because people are watching you. And me and everybody else on this planet. How it goes. I believe in Judgment Day, the person really watching me. So, who's watching me? Christ up above watching me. So when I pass away, I'm having a long discussion with him. That's me, though. You might be different. You might be better off than I am. That's cool if you are. But, guys, once again, recapping. 5600X is good. Graphics card to start with. Graphics card CPU. 5600 is a good one. Alternative. A little cheaper, but it's like $30-$40 cheaper. If you have a good GPU like 1080 or 2060 that you're happy with, you can probably spend $30-$40 more and get that one. If it's breaking you that much, you may need to wait until you get some more money in your pocket. But yeah, guys, this is my video here. It's my video. It's what I have here to say. Is once again, let's do it together now. If you haven't, if it's your first time on my channel and you haven't already gone down there, go on down there to the bottom. You like, subscribe, notification on, read it, and leave a comment down there. So you ring that bell. So when you ring that bell, when a video comes available, you be able to first watch them, or first comment, or first say, what, I'm gonna like this, but I'm gonna wait until I get time to watch it later on. And that's fine. I appreciate any views I get. Share a video if you haven't. Share a video if you already haven't. If you have, great. Appreciate you. Bless you. Have a blessed day. God bless all of you. Have a great day. My gamer tag, Crisis169 on Xbox app. Steam is Crisis1691. Same name, just adding a 1 at the end of the 9. So, peace out. See you guys later. Be blessed. I'll be back next week talking about graphics cards and which ones are GPUs. Which one's good for you to start out with. If it matters, if you're building a new one, you might want to start with a 1560 Super or 66 Super. So you can get your feet wet. Or do like me, get a 2060 who want a 3060 Ti but can get one because, prices are high. But once again, guys, peace, love. See you guys later. Peace out.